Hey, witches!
Hello! Hi, hello! Sorry. I was buffing. Buffering.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
I was like,
Well, and welcome back.
oh, hi, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Fourth Wing. Listen,
Iron
I
Flame.
Iron Flame.
Your whole brain is buffering, apparently.
Listen, I grabbed like my highlighters included, and all I could think of is one of the quotes that I highlighted yesterday, and then that's when my like entire body shut down. Apparently.
Oh my gosh. So, chapter 25 through 30?
30. Yeah. Girl, listen. I have a theory for you.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to say the theory first, and then I'm going to, at the end of it all, I'm going to continue on with my intended theory.
Okay.
Because I was talking to Chloe last night. She's read the book. And I told her exactly where we stopped. And I was like, this is my thought process. And then all of a sudden, like lightning, it fucking hit me. And I was like, and then more balance. Did you continue reading, by the way?
I did not. I do know who.
Was this the spoiler that you knew?
No.
Have we gotten past the spoiler? Oh, no, you
No.
would have said it. How do you know, though?
What?
Do you know, like, who, like, at the end of the book, or not the book, but the end of the chapter 30? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I turned the page. I needed to know. But that is not the spoiler that I knew.
Oh, okay. Okay, anyway, so there's a theory that I actually found on TikTok, and it's very intriguing, and I really like it, and I sent this to you. It's a theory about orange dragons.
Oh, yeah.
So in Fourth Wing, pretty much all of the orange dragons have something to do with Violet. Specifically, they all want to kill her. So
they're all bad guys.
Yeah, so Jack Barlow has an orange dragon, Bade. Or had an orange dragon, Bade. Who else? Varish has an orange dragon, Solus.
And Amber Mavis.
Yeah, and Amber Mavis has an orange dragon, Solus. Those three had that
bitch is dead.
Oh yeah, that bitch is definitely dead. She burnt. Had an orange dragon, and they all somewhere, some various degrees, disliked her.
And are kind of unhinged, honestly.
Yeah. But the theory is that, what about Brennan? Brennan's got an orange dragon.
Yep. I saw that. I don't like it, but
And I was like, so what if
it actually, that would fall in, it would make the spoiler that I saw make a lot more sense. But the spoiler that I saw had nothing to do with Brennan, just so we're clear.
Okay. So the theory is that, like, not all orange dragons, but specifically the orange dragons that, like, have a major character person in this story hate Violet, or at some point want to kill her. So I'm like, oh my god. So that's the original theory. I'm going to piggyback off of that later on.
Okay.
Because I built the theory a little later. After I read everything. Did you hear that?
That was the weirdest fucking noise I've ever heard come out of someone's mouth.
That was like I was breathing as I was
And
burping.
burping at the same time. Like, that was weird.
Anyways, prednisone, I found out makes you gassy. So,
Oh, interesting.
well, at least makes me gassy. I don't know about other people, but it makes me burpy, and that's
It
what I've been
makes
doing.
me hyper, not hyperactive, but like focused. And I'm like super productive and hot. Hot.
Oh, prednisone increases your body temp,
Yeah. Hot.
but the no, I'm on phentermine for that one. Okay, so chapter 25.
Chapter 25. So, right off the bat, I love how Taryn is like, of course you're fine. Obviously you're fine. I wouldn't have chosen you if you weren't going to be okay. Like, I just, like, he's like, do you think I would choose someone inferior that would just not be okay? Like,
He's that person that you want to I don't know. He's like your motivational speaker, but like the way he does it is just not the best way.
yeah.
It's like he's saying he's superior, so you're superior by default. And it's
Right.
like,
By
can you just tell me why
association.
I'm
Like,
superior, not by
yeah.
association, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
Um so on page 237, they're on their way to not on their way, but like prior to this, they're on their way to battle brief. And there's somebody that's scurrying on by that's in a scribe outfit. And I was like, who is that? Oh my God, who is that? I was like, oh my God, is that Justinia? Is that Justinia? Because on page 236, there is parchments that are found on everyone's table that reads, Zolia falls to Dragonfire. The third largest city in the Breivik province has fallen to the blue fire dragons and their riders. Though the city and its drifts fought valiantly, the 2-day battle ended in Poromish defeat. All who did not evacuate have perished. An estimated 10,000 lives have been lost, including General Fenella, the commander of Breivik's Griffin fleet. All trade routes to the city have been barricaded to prevent further loss of life. So my initial thing was, if this is not quote unquote propaganda, was Jacinia like delivering this because she would have access to like this kind of stuff,
Right.
to bring it out, kind of
Right.
thing.
Well, and it was really interesting. The first time I read through that, I was like, okay. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I was like, I'm so confused. And then Violet's like, it depends on how, or the placement of the word fire, like, or the word blue or something like that. She was like, are they blue dragons or blue fire dragons, meaning wyvern? So like, I was like, oh, I didn't catch that. But now I'm like, okay, I get why this is such a big deal. It just depends on who you are, how you're reading this note, like,
Yeah.
and
And then
what you're aware of.
and Sawyer was like, we wouldn't do this. There's no way we would send a riot to annihilate a city of civilians. And I'm like, Sawyer is about to learn.
Well, but didn't she already tell him, or was that in this chapter?
No.
That's in this chapter?
No.
Where she tells them about the secret of them killing civilians?
No. Yes. But not now.
Oh, okay. That was in the last episode, wasn't it? When they're like interrogated?
They're killing civilians.
Yeah.
Outside
of the wards. Yeah.
But not within the wards.
Right, but this city wouldn't be within the wards, right?
Well, this is like they're sending it to annihilate specifically.
Right.
They're just not saving them.
Yeah. And also,
That's the difference.
I like how Markham is like, obviously you're not ready for this exercise. Bitch, you were just as surprised as everybody else about this note. Like you didn't know it was coming either. This was
That's why
not
I think it's
planned.
Justinia,
Yeah, it could
because she was
be.
that because like that person was hiding specifically. But and then it was like you know him better than anybody else. Like, what is he going to do? And it's like, first, like, he's going to discredit, then he's going to deflect, and then he's going to distract, and that's exactly what he did on
Yep.
target. And I was
Yep.
like, oh, she knows.
Yep. I didn't write anything else until page 239.
Same.
And all I wrote was no fucking way.
Listen, I don't think Will was like actively awake because he was taking a nap while I was reading this. But like, I was reading this and I go, "No, you fucking did it!" or I said something along the lines of, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And all of a sudden, I hear like, because like he's in the bedroom like sleeping, and all of a sudden, huh? Because I yelled that. I was so like caught off guard. I was like,
yes, I was pissed.
Fucking knew Jack Barlow would come back at some fucking
Yes.
point. I knew it. I was like, oh, I feel it in my bones. He's gonna come back. But here's the thing: like, to be honest, I did not think it would be the fact that he was fucking getting mended for months. I
did not see this coming at all.
I honestly thought they had like venom in there.
I thought that Dane was breaking people's minds.
Yeah.
And that Nolan was fixing them after Dane broke them. I did not expect this at all. At all. I was
like,
shocked.
I like figured he was gonna come back because like, why not? Like, he was.
I do have a theory though, because Dane was involved with whatever was happening with Nolan, right? Like that was definitely a thing. So we don't quite know yet, but we kind of find out that Jack Barlow is nice now. Like he's not.
Oh, do you think Dane like?
Yeah, I'm wondering if Dane like changed his mind, like changed his personality somehow, or if like Dane and Nolan combined their magic to do something in his brain.
Here's the thing, though. There was a part where it was like at 240. The line says, "Glacial blue eyes met mine. Any doubt I had died is a swift death. It's him. My pounding heart jumps into my throat. Maybe he learned his lesson." Rhiannon's voice pitches high with empty hope. "No," Riddick says, letting his hands fall to his lap. "He's definitely going to try to kill you again." Because the look on his face is almost humble, like a man who's received a second chance he definitely doesn't deserve. And then he pivots, looking up to the rose to find me. But there was like...
But I wonder if they've like weaponized
for some reason, I thought I read somewhere that it looked like pure malice. Where did I read that?
I don't know.
Maybe I just made that up.
Yeah, I don't know. Part of me wonders if they haven't like weaponized him. Like if they didn't use Dane's gift and Nolan's gift to like make him right, like make him almost nice, and then like if there's not like some kind of, I don't know, code switch or something that's going to like, once he gets close to Violet, then flip him to where he goes back to normal or something. I don't know. But I have a question, because based on the Basgiath's own like rules and code and the way they do things in the Rider Quadrant, when someone loses or dies, or basically dies, that's trimming off the weaknesses. And his arrogance was a weakness. So we're culling him out of here, right? He's gone. Why did they go to such efforts to bring him back, if not to in some way weaponize him? Because it just doesn't. And then I was like, is this even really him? Like,
see, I wondered that too. Like,
but then when Taryn says that Bade says it is, like, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, then it has to be, like,
yeah, because in chapter 26, like, Taryn confirms.
yeah. And Violet has a really good attitude. I only wrote two things about chapter 26. And the first was that, like, everyone's, like, freaking out except for Violet. Violet's like, listen, I already beat him once. Like, I'm going to beat him again. He's not my biggest problem.
Like,
Right,
I got this.
He's not my biggest problem right now. I'm not fucking worried about it. And I was like, okay, Violet, like, good fucking attitude.
Well, and here, my question is, it's like, why, like how you were saying, it's like, if he's arrogant and he's being taken out as the weakest link, like, why mend him? Like, what is he to everybody? And I'm like, is he related to Varish? Like, was this an order on Varish? Like, is there something along the lines of, like, this is why he's so arrogant, is because he's
Right.
Varish, and that would make sense because the Orange Dragons, the arrogance, the unhingedness that they both have. I would be like, maybe he decided to, like, oh, he's so unhinged, he wants to kill her. Let's bring him back to kill her. But she wasn't necessarily like one of those problems or one of those things or whatever that whole case was when he was around.
Right.
Like, he was gone, then everything happened. So, like,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's definitely something that's.
Yeah. The only other thing I wrote for chapter 26 was literally, oh shit. Because they start talking about an attack on, is it Samara? Yeah. There was an attack on Samara, and there was no one killed, but one rider was severely wounded. And I mean, both Mira and Xaden are there, so, like, Violet's immediately like, oh fuck. But Professor Deborah, when she's talking about it, kind of, like, runs her hand along her neck where Xaden's.
Yeah, that was really weird. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, because she, like, looks, like, snaps her head straight to her and goes like this.
Yeah, right where Xaden's relic is. So Violet freaks out and fucking leaves.
And I don't think, and at this point we don't, like, it's not confirmed whether it's Taryn's emotions or not, but Taryn, like, made a comment about how, like, upset Sigale was the night before.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously, like, they couldn't, like, figure out why.
Yeah, because they're too far for them to communicate.
Yeah.
But they can still,
like,
feel emotions.
Yeah. So she's not sure why she, like, just abruptly, like, got up and, like, ran. If it's her feelings or if it's Taryn's feelings.
Yep.
But she's like, and so she's, like, fighting herself the whole way. But here's the thing. If Devra did that for her, could Devra be an ally?
I kind of think she might be, but
because she looked at the blue flame thing, and she not like the, like, specifically the blue flames, but, like, the
right.
like the sheet. Let's be real, it's real, it's legitimate, it's
Yeah.
not propaganda. But she was, like, looking at it, and she's like looking at her like, holy shit, like, this is not, like, a game.
Right.
This is not
this
a game
is not
to play.
fake. This is not.
Yeah.
Yep. I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I like that, but we'll see, I guess.
Excuse me. I think Is it Devera or Dever? Dev.
I
I
always
don't
say
know.
Devra.
Yeah, because it's Devera.
Yeah.
Devra, whatever. Anyways, I think she would be a powerful ally.
I agree.
And I also think not that she hasn't really shown any reason to be wary of Markham, but like at times she's just like looks at him like, really, the theatrics? Like, why are we doing the theatrics here? You know. But here in about 4-ish minutes, there's going to be an alarm that's going to go off. I apologize. I have to be an adult and do laundry.
It's fine. I'm gonna
Because
do a little promo during that time.
my boyfriend's not here to do it for me.
It's okay.
Because he's also an adult and has to work.
Well, we could probably get partway through chapter 27 at that time.
True.
So the first thing that I want to say, she gets to Samara, right? And she jumps off her thing, and Mira's there. And she's like, where is he? And she's like, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here till Saturday. And she's like, are you okay? Like, Mira, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I wasn't here. I was out on patrol. Good, then tell me where he is. Like, she's freaking out. And Mira's like, he's in the sparring gym. From what I hear, your man is the main reason we have an outpost. And Violet goes, he's not mine. Not really. Bitch, shut the fuck up. What else could he possibly do to prove to you that he is yours, whether you want him or not? Like, shut the fuck up. Gets on my damn nerves. And then she gets to the sparring gym, and he's fucking sparring with Garrick. What?
Yeah, he's fine. Not
He's
fine, but like he's up and at him.
We find out that he was the one who was injured, but that Amender arrived shortly after. After the missive from the scribe had already gone out. But he's such an asshole. He's like, whose jacket are you wearing? Because right before she left, she didn't go to her room. She didn't pack anything. She did nothing. She was running for the courtyard, and Taryn was meeting her there, not even at the flight field, at the fucking courtyard to leave. And so Bodhi gave her his flight jacket because otherwise she was going to freeze to fucking death on the way there. And Xaden's like, whose jacket are you wearing?
Yeah, and she's like, really? It has 3rd-year rank, 4th wing insignia, and a section leader designation. Who the hells do you think I'm wearing?
Yeah.
His jaw ticks, water streaming down his... Oh, because he like shoved her into like the like locker room shower area to like ice cold to cool her off so that she can like
calm down.
Differentiate, between her feelings and Taryn's feelings, and like so she could shove her everything up. And she's like, it's Bodhi's, you territorial asshole. And then he's like, it doesn't help, and so she's pissed. And this conversation right here is like the bullshit that Will would do to me. Like, I will be like going fucking off, and then he just picks one little thing, and then I'm like, well, nope, not now. So she's like, are you serious right now? I ran out of battle breath the second Devera clued me in that you had been wounded. Yes, I left without leave. Then I flew 8 hours at breakneck speed with an absolutely irrational Terran who thought if you'd been hurt, then Sigil could have been too. And now you pull some possessive jealous whose jacket is that bullshit just because your cousin knew I was so panicked that I wouldn't stop for my own flight leathers? You could fuck right up. And the corner of his mouth turns up. You were worried about me?
Not anymore.
Not anymore, I'm not. Like, I was reading that and I chuckled and I was like, yeah, that's us.
Yeah, I was cracking up. Oh, there it is. You better turn that off. Disney's gonna come for us. All right, so we're gonna
okay.
We're gonna pause there for a moment on Iron Flame, and I'm gonna do a little promo. So for those of you that watch the YouTube, you'll get to see this. For the rest of you, maybe I'll take a picture. I don't know. I'll try to remember. I'm so bad at the social media. So I was on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and I kept getting ads for Kiki's Crystals, which is a crystal shop. They are based in China. But Kiki specifically, let me see if it says in here. She knows that the crystal market is flooded with fakes or like inferior products, and they are big on their making sure their products are real. So Kiki Crystal, there's a lot of like little promo and stuff in here. She's got a scan to subscribe code. She gives cards for each crystal that she sends that tell you more about them. It tells like a quick learn card, so it tells you the chakra, the zodiac, the element, the properties. So it's really neat. But I ordered some crystals from her. I ordered a scoop of crystals. She sent me these two little sphere holders. You just set them down and set the sphere on top of it. There's always like little free gifts. Those were a free gift, and these were. I got this little moss agate mushroom and a clear quartz heart. A bunch of tumbles and chips, tumbles and chips. A jar of chakra chips. This one is Labradorite, I believe. But it's like a big chunk. There was lots of cool things in here. I got a garden agate or a garden, let me see, garden quartz star. Let me see. Yeah. I got this sphere, which sits on the little thing. It's nice. I like it. That one is strawberry quartz. I got this cute little spider. It's Labradorite spider. I also got a pig of the same kind, but Brittany hijacked that because she likes pretty rocks, as she calls them. Got these two. One is an amethyst. The other one's aventurine. This is rainbow fluorite teardrop. It's a lot of fun. It's probably one of my favorite items out of the thing that I got. This point is dragon bloodstone. And like these are pretty big pieces. Like these are not tiny little things. This is another favorite of the items that I got. It's a dogtooth calcite point. So it's a point like usual, but it's got the jagged edge, which is why it's called dogtooth. And then I got an ocean jasper palm and a garden quartz sphere as well. And then I got this gorgeous Dreamcatcher thing, which actually I'm going to take out of the bag because I've been meaning to put this up. It's rose quartz tree of life in the shape of a moon, and I've been meaning to hang it by the bed and just haven't had an opportunity to. So I'm going to be doing that today now that I've gotten it all out. But yeah, so Kiki Crystals is awesome. She there's tons of videos of her scoops and stuff. This was a large scoop, which was about $80. But if I had bought each of these pieces individually at a store, it would have been way more than that. This piece alone of rainbow fluorite would have been like $30. So for the amount of pieces that I got, I also got, I showed you that. It would have been a lot more expensive. So I'm trying to find where her thing is. She's got a video talking about her like mission and why she started this shop. It's kikicrystal.com, but she's also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and there are lots of videos. This is how she got me, are all of her videos on the social media platforms of her doing people's scoops and showing like what they got, because this is what I got here is more than $80 worth of crystals. So I'm super happy about it. Like each crystal in this bag, which is like probably 20, 25 crystals, would have been at least $1 each. So excited about it. And she sent me a 10% off coupon, so I'll definitely be ordering from her again. I will say, because I'm in the United States, it did take probably about 10 to 12 days to get here. So if you're impatient, just be wary of that. But it was worth the wait because everything I got was amazing and phenomenal. So definitely would recommend her, or recommend ordering from her. It's not just a one girl operation anymore. Now, if you watch some of the videos, there are like multiple people working there. And if you want her to record a video for her social media of your order, they charge extra for that, which is fair because it takes time and effort to do those things. So like, totally fine, but be aware of that. You might not get a video, or you won't get a video unless you pay for it, which I did not do because it was like $20 extra, and I was like, nah, I just want the crystals. So that is Kiki Crystal, which is exciting and highly recommended.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you were in here or if I'd shown you these before, but she sent a card.
I heard the little snippet.
Yeah. Super excited about it because it's awesome. So that's Kiki Crystal. And like, excuse me. There was I don't know if you could see me unpacking that, but there was a lot of it was well packaged. Everything was in little baggies, and then on top of that, there's lots of bubble wrap inside. And
so
then
there's a lot of care taken into it.
Yes. And it was in this box. This box was inside of another box with the big bubble wrap, like the big square pieces around it. So like it was very well packaged. It was not going to get hurt at all.
That's nice. I do enjoy that.
It was cool. Good time.
Oh, now you went out? I shut the door slightly.
Animals are the best. Our animals are assholes, but animals in general are the best.
What?
Oh my goodness. Hello, Polly.
Yeah? You saying hi?
Aroo.
Sorry about Phil. Okay, I don't know where they went. Hey, anyways.
Yeah, so we're still in the middle of chapter 27.
Yeah. That banter, though.
Yeah, okay. At the top of page 248, this is getting old, Violet. She says, of course he doesn't get it. His life might depend on mine, but he doesn't feel the way I do about him. Bitch. Like, this is beyond old at this point.
He literally said, you're not the one I'm reminding. Who else is he talking to?
Right. And, like, it's not like, she's like, he wants me. He even said he fell for me, but he never said he loves me. What do you think he meant when he said he fell for you, first of fucking all? Second of all, he won't have sex with you until you tell him you love him.
Because he doesn't want to use that as an anchor,
right,
to make you love him. Like, he wants it to be a genuine connection.
Right. So shut the fuck up, Violet. I'm over you and that shit. And then at the bottom, I fucking swooned. At the bottom of page 248, he says, "Oh, I know, and somehow it was a hell of a lot easier on both of us when you were," meaning when she was not in his chain of or when she was in his chain of command. "You want full disclosure when it comes to me, right? How is this for open? I would have done the same thing you did," meaning leaving without leave, "because I'm just as reckless for you as you are for me." I fucking swooned. Like,
Yeah.
most of the time when people are like book boyfriend, I'm like, I don't fucking get it. When it comes to Xaden Rierson, I fucking get it.
He's
Like,
just written differently.
this is like, you know how everybody, when Bridgerton, the first season first came out, and everyone was like, I burn for you, and it was like a big thing. This line right here, I'm just as reckless for you as you are for me, is 100 times better than I burn for you. Like, I am, yes.
Although I've never watched Bridgerton yet, the only thing I can think of when I hear the burn for you thing is Nicola Coughlin going, I burn for you, Colin.
Yes! That video was fucking hilarious, first of all.
I really do.
Because that's not the accent she uses in, because, well, obviously.
That's from Dairy Girls, but it's
Yeah.
so funny. It's still funny. That's just how she starts off her interview.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Anyways.
Oh, yeah. I didn't write anything else until page 255 because the rest of this chapter is...
They just had sex. That's all it was.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
In the shower.
In the shower.
For all those who have a shower fantasy, this is the scene for you.
I don't have a shower fantasy because typical showers are just not made
Typical
for...
heights are not made for
Well,
anything.
that as well. And just, like...
Not
No.
even showers. People's
But-
heights are just not made for that.
We stayed at this, but I'm not going to go into detail, so calm down, miss. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Brittany.
I was like, I don't really care.
We stayed in this place where you have your own personal in-the-room pool.
Mm-hmm.
And that was quite an experience. That's all I'm going to say. So I get the allure of shower scenes and like water play, but your typical American shower is not the appropriate size for two American people to...
I think the thing about this one is that it's like, think of like a locker room in a way.
Yeah, so it's like big
on,
open.
like, yeah, and it's like on a bench.
But also, that really grosses me out because think of a locker room.
Oh, yeah.
But this scene was still very well written.
Yeah, it was. I really like, though, that like she is, and this is the only thing I'm going to comment like prior to them having sex, because all I said was, well, I wasn't expecting that. Because I like that. I feel like in ACOTAR, you knew when a sex scene was coming.
Yeah.
Like, you knew when it was coming. This was like, I yearn for you. I need it now kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was very spur of the moment kind of thing. And that's well written. But I really like that, like, while they're making out, like, she sees that he's obviously hard for her, and she goes to stroke him, and he's like, if you keep doing that, she's like, I'll actually get you. And he like snaps to her, and she just like notices like there's like conflict there, and she just gets pissed, and she's like, don't make me fight for this, like, not again. Like,
yeah.
And I'm just like, can you not see like where he's coming from? Like, you're over here, like you said earlier, like, he's already told you he's fallen for you. He's told you he's not using sex as an anchor for like this relationship. He sees, you can see and feel that he wants you.
Yep.
Why do you have to physically go through with it to understand this? And he gets so mad. He's like, I am fighting for this. Like, seriously, like, you straight up said, like, you couldn't separate sex and feelings, right? And she's like, damn it, I did say that to him. And it's like, yeah, months ago, forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he still says that and he's still fighting for that after what happened and after, like, you straight up sitting there saying all of that, like, that's something, Violet. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she's getting on my nerves with this. She's giving Feyre, and I'm getting irritated.
Right? And then it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, he even, like, said, like, listen, I dream about you, and I dream about, like, when we had sex last. Like, I dream about this. I dream about you holding you. I dream about, like, kissing you. Like, I dream about you, like, doing this. Did Dane ever say that about you?
Oh my god.
He barely ever wanted to tell you that he loved you and that he wanted to date you. You tell him, Polly. Girl, you tell him. Fuck Dane. We don't like Dane in this house. Yeah.
I love it.
No Dane zone. Get in here, lay down. Come here. That was unprovoked. She's just
hi, Polly.
Lay down.
The next thing that I commented on is on the very last page of the chapter, literally page 255.
I just said, well.
So they get through
the
sex scene, right? And it's yep. And then there's a little bit of banter that's bantering, and then she says, "What do we do now?" And he's like, "We have options. First, we can stay right here and go again. Second, we can clean up, get dressed, and sneak up to my room where we can go again. Or third, we can clean up, find a water wielder to dry our clothes, get you into one of my flight jackets, and fly to the rendezvous to drop the daggers." And then Violet's up and running to grabbing for her clothes before he can even finish. And he says, "I'm guessing that's a no to options 1 and 2.
With a disappointed sigh.
Like, of course. Like, what did you expect? You knew who you chose. You knew who you got here. And then we've got the fussy old grandpa at the beginning of chapter 28. Because Tairn is taking her with them, with Xaden and Sigil on this drop, but he is not fucking happy about it.
He's like, man.
Yeah.
We shouldn't even be here.
Yeah, he's ticked. And he is like, I'm not letting you get off of me. Like, you're not dismounting. Like, absolutely not. So, and Xaden's like, don't worry, you'll be able to hear everything from up there. And she says the guy whose dragon isn't putting him in a corner. I just love all of the relationships between the dragons and them, and even between Sigil and Violet. Like, I like all of the dynamics. And then I feel like I'm always like, and then
you ever see Dude, Where's My Car?
Yes.
And then
yes.
No, that's it. And then okay. So we meet the Griffin Riders. They're dropping things. Xaden's pissed because here's the thing. When we hear about all of these fleets happening and like the fighting and all of that, or the drifts, not the fleets, but the drifts fighting, I'm like, are they planned? Like, do Xaden and like the Griffin drifts like say, hey, come here at this time, like do this, and then back off and run away ASAP, just be like aware, like some people could die kind of thing, so like you can get your shit and get out? Like, what is this? And it's not, it's just because like they need more weapons than what Xaden can supply, and Xaden's pissed because one of the Griffins almost took him out. And So now he's like, well, I don't trust you. And Serena, who is like the leader of this specific drift, is like, well, I still trust you, but I will try my hardest to do this. But listen, you got to do this, you got to do that. And then there's this little bitch named Kat. We don't know her full name yet, but named Kat. And
I knew as soon as they said Kat, I knew exactly who the fuck she was.
Okay, so she started like popping up. This like specific Kat. I see Kat like popping up, like Kat and Violet like bickering, and then Xaden in the middle, and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I was like, I don't know this bitch. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So when I read that, like, she looks like how I feel, like this, I was like, an old girlfriend, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Is that who we are?
Well, because if you remember, like, Bodhi was like,
Catriona.
I've never seen him like this with anyone, not even Catriona. And she was like, who the fuck is Catriona?
He's like, well, you're going to forget about this, right?
Absolutely fucking up.
Yeah. But, so she's wary about Kat, and like they're talking, and then she's like, hey, I'm good to see you made it through, Resin, and whatever. And all of a sudden she just stops and goes, you'll condemn us all to death if you take down the only ward standing between the Venin and the hatching grounds at Bisgayeth. It's our only forge for weaponry, and there's enough raw magic in that range to feed them for a century. They'd be unstoppable. And like that obviously drew everyone's attention to her.
Mm-hmm.
And Taryn's pissed. Taryn's like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And I don't remember Xaden. Well, were Xaden and I guess they were. I was going to say, were Xaden and Violet making out when the last time the Griffin Riders showed up? Okay. Because it says, nice to meet you without rears and space attached to yours, Sorengale.
Yep.
But yeah, then she goes, I'm glad you made it through Resin. And then Kat, the younger flyer, is like shock and shit. I think that's malice narrowing in her eyes. And I'm like, yep, that's definitely an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then Zane's like, just ignore her. Like, it's fine, whatever. And so then they're like talking, and Xaden's like, listen, I will completely and utterly stop doing this if it means that I can save the majority of my people. If you're going to continue doing this, because like I can't jeopardize my cause for your people when your people are attacking my people and the cause that I'm trying to do, which I understand, and I completely agree with him.
Yeah.
And like they're all pissed and everything, and now they're talking about like completing a forge and getting a luminary, and Kat goes, oh, Viscount Takaris would strongly argue with that statement. You've had not one but two chances to acquire the luminary, and it's not like you haven't had what he's asked for both times. And I'm like, I suspect Viscount Takaris once. Okay, and here's the thing. I don't know anything about Kat. I don't know anything about Serena or Viscount Takaris. At this point, before we, officially find out, I was wondering if like Viscount Takaris is like the dad or like the uncle of like Serena and Kat,
and wanting them to be married or something.
Yeah, like
That's what I thought.
There's always like some type of trope like that. I always say trope like that. And then I was also thinking, well, Sorengale, one, her last name, two, she's a lightning wielder, and that's been the only lightning wielder in a century, more like in over a century. So that's a powerful asset. Maybe he wants her for a wife or in like, in the court somewhere.
Yep.
For his own amusement.
That's what I thought after this chapter.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I was like, okay. I was like, or he wants her dead because of the fact that she's a Sorengale and she's a lightning wheeler. or a little mix of everything. I don't really know. But then like Serena's like, "Shut up, cat." Shut the fuck
And
up.
Violet in her head is like, what the hell is she talking about?
Yeah,
And
and Zane's
Zeta's
like,
like, nothing. And she's like, we will be discussing this later.
and Zane's like,
Yep.
Yeah, and so then they're all talking and blah blah blah, and uh oh, Serena looks to Xaden before he glances and says thank you before she glances over to uh Violet and goes, "Tell your dragon he's still the scariest fucking thing I've ever seen, Sorengale." And she goes, "I would, but it would just inflate his ego. Stay alive, Serena. I'm starting to like you." And I'm like, you know what? I like Serena.
I do too.
I've only met her a couple of times, but like she's blunt, but she's also like,
Yeah,
I don't know. There's something about her I like.
I would agree.
And then it hits her. Let's go, Catriona.
Yeah.
Cat.
Yeah, Violet's a little slow sometimes.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of chapter 28. Most of what I said about chapter 29 is on this first fucking page.
Same. This is the Terran quote.
The first thing I said was the blurb. Like, I wondered if they didn't, like, if Markham wasn't somehow in on it and letting them know, or even Devra letting her know that Xaden was injured, knowing full well probably that he's already been mended, to get her to leave without leave. And because they would then have a reason to execute her on sight. So I wondered if it wasn't like,
I thought
arranged.
that too, but then with the way Devra was acting,
yeah,
and like the surprise of everything, then I was like,
maybe not.
I don't think. I think Markham would definitely be in on it.
Oh, for sure.
But so this Terran quote.
I have 2 Terran quotes highlighted on this page, so I'm wondering which one you also highlighted.
Same.
Oh, okay.
I got exact ones. Okay, listen. As somebody who has struggled with very, very, very bad self-confidence throughout life, and whether it's with like the way I look, the way I act, the things that I'm involved in, or the things that I enjoy doing, and just like being myself, and you know, doing this podcast with you has actually like helped me get out of that shell and like being more like outspoken on my views and more outspoken on like who I want to be and where I want to be in life. And then like being in the other podcast show, shout out to Leo Braun on all platforming things, Spotify, all of that. Check it out. It's a great new story horror podcast. And just like, it's crazy because like you don't, when other people, like the people you trust, when they say things to you, like your friends or whatever, like, oh, you're beautiful, or oh, you're so talented, or oh, you're this, like it doesn't hit hard because it's like they're your friends. They should be saying stuff like that to you. But like the strangers, the ones who don't know you that well, the ones who don't know anything about you, and they say those compliments, that hits harder because it's like that's more candid. And it's crazy because like Terran with his weird ass ways of telling Violet that she's strong, she's capable, like he chose her. She doesn't ever believe it, obviously. And I mean,
right.
she trusts him. And it's kind of like one of those things. And I feel like I really love this quote because hold on. Will just got home.
Okay. Basically, but leading up to this quote, they're like, Violet's just being super down on herself and like basically
Just
jealous and
yeah,
insecure about Kat.
because a cat, yeah, it has nothing really to do with like her. Well, I guess it has everything to do with her power because it's like the way she looks, the way she like appears, like she's just seems so like capable, you know. Um, she could probably do a rolling dismount, kind of like
Right.
thought process. Um, but she's like kind of wallowing in that. And then she goes, shit, what is this? Jealousy, anxiety, insecurity? And Taryn responds, all three, to which I will remind you that not a single dragon chose her. You were selected by two. Pull yourself together. Pull
I love
yourself
it.
together.
I fucking love
And
Taryn.
then, yeah, and then it goes in. His metric is sound, but has little to do with what I'm feeling. But at one point, Zayden chose her. I lean into the right bank as Taryn hugs the face of the mountain, continuing to climb. And at one point, you thought gruel was a satisfactory meal until you grew some teeth and found the rest of the world's food waiting. Now cease this line of thinking. It does not serve to make you stronger. And then I'm just like, this the simplest analogy really hits home.
Yeah.
It's like you thought that was satisfactory. And you know, I've had these moments. I've had this moment with Will where like I was just like
Oh
scrolling
yeah.
Facebook. Yeah.
Shit.
Where I just was scrolling Facebook and I found his old Facebook that he doesn't even fucking use. And I was like, oh my God, who is that girl? Like, oh my God, she's so pretty. And then Will goes, oh, that's my ex. Why is my Facebook up? Like, and I'm sitting there and for 3 fucking hours, I am in like a spiral fucking despair of whatever, calling Chloe at his apartment while he's at work. Like, what do I do? Should I confront him? It's been like 3 months. And she's like trying to console me, try to get me out of a panic attack and try to like, you know, tell me stuff that like I already know but don't know. Like, I don't know. It's insane. And then
Yeah.
it's like, yes, at one point that was what they chose. But then they saw else. They grew up. They saw
Mm-hmm.
other things. They evolved and now they saw other things and now that's what they chose and so now that's what they're choosing. So he's choosing her despite this person now. And it's like and it's just like it really like just that simple analogy can kind of really uplift you if you're having some self-doubt issues, man.
Honestly, I
And I
had
love that.
both of those also highlighted.
It's just so simple.
It is.
uh,
Um,
I just love Taryn.
I do too. I do too. And then on page 265, at the very top, kind of 264 going into 265, they're talking about what Takaris wanted. And he's like, he swears you're the first lightning wielder in over a century. He swears he'll let us take it to Orisha, the luminary, to Orisha, if he can see you wield. And he's like, but I'm not risking you. I'm not doing that. And she goes, it doesn't seem like it's your risk to take. Bitch, have your friends not been saying the same motherfucking thing to you this whole goddamn time? Like, are you serious? The whole time, Rhiannon and Sawyer and Riddick were like, it's not your choice whether we want to take the risk. Like, you have to allow us to make that choice whether the risk is worth it. And then she turns around and says the same bullshit to Zayden, and I'm like, this hypocritical bitch. I can't with her. I literally wrote, bitch, haven't your friends been saying the same thing? That's what I wrote in my notes because I was so angry.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say that. I said something different in chapter 30, but
I'm still on 29. We're still on 29, right? I have more to say.
yeah, I do too. I was just saying that like I had something similar to that, but in a different chapter.
Oh, okay. Yep. Um, page 267 is my next comment. She
I have one on this one too.
mine is about Professor Immaterio.
Same.
Um, he's like, you've angered the leadership, Sorengale, and she said it couldn't be helped. He's like, I do not have favorites. That would be foolish in this place. Noted. But if I did, and I'm not saying I do, but if I did, I would suggest to that favored student that she stresses the undimmable bond of her legendary battle dragon and forgets any mention that perhaps strengthening her mental shields could have saved her from such a rash decision when it came to departing without leave. But I would also hope that another favored student, were I to have such a thing, would be teaching you stronger shield techniques so it doesn't happen again. And I'm
I
just
don't
like,
have faves, but if I did, which I don't, it's you. But I don't have faves. It's also Ryerson, but it's not.
yeah. And then she's like, I get the point. Thank you for caring, Professor. And he said, I never said I did. And I'm just like, I fucking love that whole interaction. The entire thing was amazing.
And Professor Kaori, hello. Thank the gods. He is supreme. New
Yes.
fave on top of Immaterio. Okay, so she Varish is a fucking prick, and we all know this, but
Yes.
we're gonna solidify that even more. So she's coming back, she's going straight into her thing. She's got a dagger specifically for killing Venom in Ryerson's flight jacket, which she is currently wearing because, he is a, territorial asshole. So she's got to wear his flight jacket. But they're not together because she doesn't want to say I love you. But they're not together. But he's got to, yeah. So she is being strip shirts because apparently she is impersonating an officer, even though she's not. It is just a flight jacket. It's just a flight
Right.
jacket.
She never said she was him. She doesn't have her hair hidden because, like, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. But Professor Kaori looked up at him, or like up at her as they were walking down. And they talking about like being punished for this, being punished for that, being punished for leave. And Kaori was just like, huh. Where is it? I'm sorry. Did I just hear you order your aides or whatever you're calling them to strip a cadet? It's a jacket. She's in violation of Article 7, Section 3, which states that impersonating a commissioned officer.
It's Article 2, actually.
And it says impersonating a commissioned officer is a punishable offense, not wearing someone's flight jacket. As you can see, I'm not wearing anyone's name tag, nor am I claiming to be someone I'm not. She has you there, Vice Commandant. And since when did you search cadets' bags? Since I took over as Vice Commandant. This doesn't involve you, Kaori. Nevertheless, I'll be saying, power must always be kept in check, don't you think, Major Varish? Are you accusing me of abusing my power where this cadet is concerned, Colonel Kaori? Oh no, I think you abused your power in general.
I highlighted that. Fucking savage. Like, just yes.
And then he's like, I will have that flight jacket, holds out his hand, and then she's like undoing the buttons, and then like Rhiannon's like looking through the wall because she's like trying to like make it disappear through the wall. And listen, fucking Kaori for the kill. She is still due to face court-martial for departing campus without leave. Oh, that explains it. You haven't talked to Panchik this afternoon. I turned in my expert opinion that Sorengale must not be punished for what was clearly the choice of her dragon, her very powerful, very worried, very mated dragon. Panchik agrees. She's clear of all charges. Kaori for the fucking kill.
I did write on there, though, that I feel like I'm worried now that Kaori is going to become a target. But then a couple lines down, Kaori is even more fucking savage because Varys goes, she says, come now, we can hardly, Kaori says, we can hardly expect a second year to shield out the overpowering emotions of her dragon when even we struggle as officers, let alone as one as strong as Taryn. And Varys goes, Maybe you struggle. Some of us do not bow to the whims of our dragons. In fact, we influence them. Well,
Well, that's
that's certainly a theory worth contemplating. Odd. Would that mean that you influenced Solus when he set fire to that squad of bonded riders after Parapet? We're done here. Kaori's a fucking savage.
I know, and I love him so much.
I love it.
And then he's like, "You're making enemies, Violet," and she's like, "I think he came that way."
Yeah, I think he just showed up that way.
I wasn't trying. And then Violet goes into the room with Rhiannon, and there's Riddick and Sawyer, and they pull out the dagger and they look at it and they're like, "What is this?" And she's like, "It's for killing Venom."
And I was like, oh, fuck, glad we didn't stop there. And then there's an even bigger fucking cliffhanger at the end of the next chapter. But I was like, oh, fuck, glad we didn't stop there. Because that was the end of chapter 29. And then in the beginning of chapter 30, she tells them everything. That's the first line. I tell them everything. So Xaden's going to be fucking pissed. But now she doesn't have to lie anymore. And they just gained 3 very valuable allies.
Oh, yeah. Riddick is such a valuable ally.
Yeah.
He's like, you ever see that part in National Treasure where Riley's like, I know something you guys don't know. Finally. And then he's like, I'd be very interested to find out, Riley. And Riley's just like, let me just bask in the glory of knowing something that you guys don't know. Is this how you feel all the time? Like, I was getting Riddick vibes, or Riley vibes during that Riddick scene right there.
I love that. And then on page 274.
Yes. I got something too.
This might be what you were talking about. Violet's like, you should all be pissed at me. And Rhiannon's like, so I only get to feel however I want as long as I rip you apart for not telling me? Not sure that's fair. So she's kind of pissed. And then she goes, Violet's like, I don't deserve you, any of you. And Rhiannon goes, even if it makes me a target to know all of this, you put your own life at risk and shared your boot with me at Parapet when we were complete strangers. How can you think I wouldn't want to share this risk with you now that you're my best friend? And I was just like,
yeah. Well, and here's the thing too, like, Violet goes, Xaden can hide or like can keep things from his friends. He can do that. I can't. I need my friends. And I was like, bitch, that's what Imogen fucking said.
Yeah.
Imogen straight up said, "Keep your friends, Violet. This is not what Xaden does."
Yeah, and she didn't necessarily say to tell them everything, but also I think that they have more than proved themselves.
Yeah.
And like, it's time. And Xaden can fuck right off when he has a problem, not if, because he's gonna have a fucking problem with it.
Oh, yeah.
But he's gonna have to get over it.
And Riddick is the comedic relief that we all fucking need in life.
Isn't he though?
He's so funny because he's just like, oh, good. I was wondering when it was going to start to get dangerous around here again.
Yeah.
We can't just, have a normal war college where assassins come and go, Well, looks like Brandy lost her thing again.
I have no idea. It just said your page crashed. So here I am. I'm back.
And here we are. Anyways. Okay. So we find, wait. Oh, Eric bonded a dragon.
Yes.
Fuck. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna pick up that highlighter later. So they're at threshing. They're all waiting. What's her name? Violet. Violet is gonna have to go do like watch soon.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to go do I don't know, do something. And then but they're at threshing, they're doing everything, whatever. Sloane comes out too. She gets a dragon just like her brother. So she survived just like her brother did. Yay!
Yay!
Um,
Yay!
all of that good stuff. And then then Rhiannon gets a letter from Jacinia saying a code word, meaning that she found a secret vault that might possibly have what this crew needs to find the information that they need for, you know, the wards. And so what is it? Riddick goes, okay, I'll go meet with Jacinia. You go do your watch so that, because at this point, like, it's been like 4 or 5 weeks. The dragons have been able to see each other, but Xaden and Violet haven't been able to see each other at all. So she's trying to like do what she's supposed to do so that like she can actually go see Xaden. And what is it called? And then they're off going to do their own thing. And she goes up to where the, I guess the, what is it called?
The burn pit, right?
Yeah, the burn pit where like all the dead riders' belongings go to be burned to Malik. Go, and Aya, who is, wasn't she one of the,
She's one of the marked ones, I think, that was on was at Resson with them.
Yeah. So one of the marked ones were there. Aya was up there watching. And all of a sudden there's infantry people that pop out of nowhere, and she is on like high fucking alert. So there's 4 of them. There's 4 assassinations. Not 4 assassinations. There's 4 assassins coming to try to kill both of them. And
they're on the top of a fucking tower turret thing, by the way.
Yeah,
too.
like 4 stories over nothing. Well, I think that's what she said. 4 stories over nothing. I feel like that's not bad, but that's not good either.
Yeah, and so they're like, we were paid to deliver a message. And so they kind of get in fighting stance, and Terran is like, kill them all, and is probably on his way. And Violet goes, let me guess. Secrets die with the people who keep them. It's not as original as you think, because they're like, what? How do you know?
Every single other person who's tried to kill me has literally said that shit to me.
Yeah.
So she's killed one of them. She's killed another. Aya unfortunately dies because she gets stabbed in the chest. And then another one passes. And then this last person is like on his way to come like kill her, and she is like falling from like the edge of this tower, and she's holding on as she can, and she's not getting a foothold, so she's slipping. And this guy is basically like coming out to her to like let her go, and he's like, it's just money, just, it's nothing personal, it's just money. And I wonder if he's saying that more to himself than to her, because
Yeah, like talking himself into it.
Yeah, because he's like walking out slowly. And then all of a sudden, he's like, just let go, it will be over before you. And then his eyes bulge and he gurgles, grabbing for his throat and the dagger whose tip protrudes a few inches below his chin. Someone has shoved their knife in through his spine. So that's the end of the chapter.
The end of chapter 30. And this episode. I literally wrote, oh, fucking hell.
I know. I was like, who did it? And then I was like,
yeah, oh I turned the page. I'm not going to say it now. I'm not going to say it now, but I did turn the page.
I haven't yet. So this is my thought, and this is my theory. And then this is like the continue. So I immediately was like, oh my God, what if it's Jack? He's supposed to be nice. All of these people are like, oh, he's so nice now. Like, even the teachers are liking him. And I'm like, oh my God, what if it's fucking Jack? I was like, oh no, if it's Jack, like, now's the opportunity to kill her. And I was like, but if he's nice, then he won't kill her. So then this is where my theory started, like, kind of formulating with, like, the orange dragon thing from the beginning of the episode. So, what if, and bear with me, I said, what if you switch personalities when you die and then you get mended? Because, like, when you're mended, you're not necessarily healed. Like, you're not, like, in the healer's quadrant, you're mended. So what if you, like, switch personalities? So, like, what if you, like, flip? Like, what if you're different but not, like, what if you're the same but different? So, like, Jack was a fucking and utter ass, but now he's better.
Maybe.
And then what if Brennan, because he was essentially dead and mended, is now a bad guy?
Oh, that's an interesting theory. Like, your personality switches completely to the opposite.
And there's obviously, like, not enough concrete, like, why would the personality switch kind of thing, but it's kind of one of those, like, you're mending, you're not healing something back to 100%, so you're putting pieces back together. So what if those pieces weren't put back together correctly, but enough to make that person whole again? So it's like putting a puzzle back together. So you're mending a puzzle back together, and what if the puzzle pieces went together but not together?
That's
so what if Brandon is the ass and is going to actually attempt to kill her in an attempt to, I don't know, do whatever? And maybe,
what if he's the one sending all these assassins?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And, like, what if Jack is not? Like, what if Jack is now actually officially, like, a good guy? What if he actually turns into, like, one of the best friends and a protector of Violet? And, like, would this mender magic be similar to, like, that of a venom? Because, like, they can suck the life and, like, continue to, like, live, but, like, not mend, but, like, mend away, like the death, or I don't know. I was like, I was on the phone with Chloe last night. Chloe has actively read these books. She already knows the ending of Iron Flame, and she's like, I will neither confirm or deny, but I do like your theory. And I was like, oh my God, I want to call Brandy and I want to record right now. But yeah, like, so what if, not necessarily like the orange dragon theory, but like, what if I
don't know.
What if Brennan is actually behind everything?
And that's why their dad is dead. What if Brennan killed their dad?
Right? And then what if the reason why he hasn't actually said anything to any of them is because he doesn't want them to know that he's alive because of what he's doing? Not necessarily because of the rebellion, because he's a fucking because he's a bad guy.
And again, the spoiler that I saw and that I know about has nothing to do with Brennan. But if that's the case, it makes a lot more sense how the spoiler happened. And I'm like,
see?
I don't hate your theory. I could see it being canon.
But like you that's the thing. Like the healers, they heal. You meant.
I wish you could see her face right now if you're not watching the YouTube. Like, oh my God.
Imagine the meme of the guy with like the map in the background and like all the red lines going everywhere and like the crazy eyes. Like, that's not like he's amending. You're putting a puzzle back together. Not all the pieces will fit. Ah! All right, I'm throwing out the orange theory, the orange dragon theory. I like my other, like the new build on theory that I like better. But oh my God, like, right?
Oof. All right.
I guess we'll find out next time.
We'll find out.
Okay. Until next time.
Bye.